Hello, this is Sebastian from socialanxietysolutions.com. I'm a former social anxiety disorder sufferer and I'm a social confidence coach. I've been a social confidence coach for 10 years when I started deciding that I was one. And I've been coaching socially anxious clients for the past 10 years. And I want to talk today about honoring your commitments. And the reason why I bring that up is because it's something that I struggle with a lot and that I've got a pretty good handle on these days. And it is important to honor your commitments to yourself. For one, because it builds your self-esteem and gives you a good feeling about yourself. And that is helpful socially because the better you feel about yourself, the safer you feel presenting yourself to others. And secondly, it helps you achieve and accomplish things. And that doesn't have to be success in the business world, if you're not into that thing. That can be success in your personal life, right? Having success habits that lead to more health or more confidence or more ease. So I'd like to use the example of having a daily tapping habit, which would be amazing for you to have. So if every day you're tapping for 15 minutes, that's going to be very powerful for you. Think about the change and transformation that you would make if you were to tap for 15 minutes every single day. So that's, 365 divided by 2. Oh my goodness, am I doing this on camera? So 182 days, is my math right? Yeah, 183 times 15 minutes. Well, you do the math on that. For 6 months. So in 6 months, you then have that many days that you've tapped every single day. That's gonna make a big difference. So what would that be like if you had that habit for a year? How would that affect your relationships, the decisions that you make, the calm that you feel on a day-to-day level? That would be huge. But for a lot of people, the trouble is they're not tapping. Well, another problem is that they're not tapping in the right way on the right targets, but that's a different story. I'm just talking about tapping in and of itself, the habit of tapping. And that's just one example. You could take another example, like yoga or something. It's also very good for you. Will also help your anxiety. Or meditation will also help your anxiety. They'll help less than the tapping, in my experience, but they'll also be very helpful. So most people that want to start a habit like that, including myself, for a long time, really struggle to do it. And they struggle with doing so for a couple of reasons. I'm going to cover those right now. Now, the first reason is what I've talked about a lot of time. There is subconscious resistance to any new goal that we want to accomplish. So when you want to do your tapping 15 minutes a day, there's some part of you that doesn't want to do that for reason X, Y, Z. And also when you're doing that every day, 15 minutes of tapping, you're gonna change and transform. So things are gonna be different from how they have been. And that's threatening to your system because your subconscious likes to keep everything the same. It likes to keep things predictable. It likes to stay in control of everything. When you actually start to make change and transformation, there's the unknown. There's new scenarios. And so there's change. There's resistance to any kind of change. And then there is resistance to, okay, well, what if I start doing these 15 minutes of tapping every day and then I'll have my end goal? What if there's a problem with having that end goal? And so on. It's not a video about resistance, but just know that when you're starting any new habit, there's going to be resistance to making that a habit and to doing that every day. And so that's going to try to stop you in its tracks. Now, ideally what you do is you aim your tapping at the resistance. So you aim your tapping at the resistance to doing your tapping. That's right, I said it. So, and you can do that. And that's going to be very helpful and well, there's an effective way of doing that. But that's, again, not what this video is about. Check out one of the other videos. I'm sure I have one on it. So, so that's what you can experience. You can experience resistance to doing the tapping. And that's something to keep in mind. That's why a lot of people, it's New Year's and they make a New Year's resolution. I'm going to stop smoking, or I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to make more money. And then, day one, let's say it's losing weight. Day one, January 1, they go to the gym and they feel good about themselves. They're like, yeah, great. January 2 rolls around, they go to the gym again. And, they kind of like, it's already a bit more effort to go. And then January 3, they're like, oh, my muscles are kind of sore. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go today. Besides, I already went Gen 1 and Gen 2. So, I need some rest. And then Gen 4 runs around and someone gives them a call and they're like, yeah, I don't think I can make it today. And then day 5 is like, I'm not feeling like it, I'm a bit tired. And then day 6 is like, it's gone. Your whole resolution is gone. So when you're experiencing resistance to a particular activity or habit or outcome that you want to have, your subconscious mind doesn't want you to achieve that particular goal because it believes it's not safe or beneficial for you. And so what it then does is it starts to sabotage you. And it's when you experience self-sabotage, like having excuses, things just come up, you don't have enough time, you're not working on the right things, whatever. Some way, shape, or form, it's not going to happen, or at least your subconscious is going to try to stop you from it happening. So that's one thing, that's one important thing that is going on that you can address, and it's very helpful and powerful to address, and in the end you need to address it anyway if you want to overcome your problem. But keep in mind that that's there and that's something to address. Now, the second thing that causes people to struggle to implement a positive tapping habit is making it too complex or doing too much. So, in the past, one of the problems that I would have is like I would have all these self-development plans, all these things that I wanted to do. And, I would have hours and hours worth of tapping stuff to do, or, other kind of inner work to do. And then I'd be like, well, I don't feel like doing it today, but once the weekend comes, I'll do like 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, right. And then the weekend would come and I wouldn't do it. And even if I would do it, it would be great, it'd be helpful, but I've since learned that it's much better to do a little bit consistently. And then, if you want to go longer every now and then, that kind of automatically happens because you're getting into it. So what I recommend is that you just do 15 minutes a day. If that's too much, do 10 minutes a day. If that's too much, do 5 minutes a day. And you probably go like, 5 minutes, what's that gonna do? 5 minutes is gonna do enough. Enough for you to start noticing the differences in your life that it will make. Small, perhaps, bigger, who knows? But at least it's gonna do something. And it's gonna make you feel like, okay, if I do this for 5 minutes every day, it's making me feel better. I wonder what would happen if I double that and I do 10 minutes a day. And then at the 10 minutes, you might be, I'm gonna put that to 15 minutes, right? So, but don't overdo it. Do something that's doable for you that you can commit to. So make it very simple and then, commit to doing that. That's the third reason for why people struggle. They don't commit. They're half-assing things. They're not 100% committed to this thing. So what I do before I start anything new is I get myself 100% on board with the new habit that I'm going to do. And I only pick one thing. By the way, that's another thing. Back to the previous reason. You only pick one thing. So don't start tapping for 15 minutes a day, and yoga for 15 minutes a day, and reading for 15 minutes a day, and working out for an hour a day, and doing this. Pick one habit at a time. Big, big, big important advice. Don't do more than one. I thought, I'm so good at this personal development stuff. I don't have to, abide to that suggestion. Abide to the rule, abide to the suggestion. That's not for me. I can do multiple habits over time. And you know what? I've tried for years and I failed for years because I would try something And then I'll do it for a while and I'm like, hey, I've got the habit. And then, I'd go on a holiday or, I'd go somewhere else or my normal routine gets broken up and boom, it's all gone. Pick one thing to focus on and make that habit until it becomes so habitual that you can't think of your life of doing, of not doing it. Okay, so that's something. And then you commit to it. So when I want to start a new habit, I get very clear on exactly what I'm gonna do. And then I clear all the resistance to it. And I get very clear on the why of why I want it. And then sometimes I put a commitment in place or like accountability. So now I'm on 50 days of yoga in a row or something like that because I had a talk with my coach and I'm like, well, I think I'm finally ready to start doing yoga. I've read a bunch about it and, I watched his documentary and the science of yoga and I see that this is going to be very beneficial, but, I haven't been able to do it yet. I said to my coach, and I'm like, and it's so time consuming, takes an hour and a half to go to the studio and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, well, how about you commit to it and you do yoga every day for 20 to 30 minutes and you go to class twice a week. Why don't you commit to that for 6 weeks? And I had some reasons for why I couldn't do it, which is what we went over and which is what we worked through. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. I'm 100% yes on this. And I felt 100% yes on it. Okay, so that was my commitment. So now I did that. And that means that I'm not going to sleep until I've done what I said I would do. And I am, there is no way that I'm not going to do what I said I would do. So I had the deal, and in terms of accountability, I had the deal that I would email my coach every day after I had done it. So when I lie in my bed and I'm about to close my eyes, I would know, oh no, I haven't done my yoga yet. Okay, I'm going to do my yoga. One, because it's a commitment to myself, and the other also like, I don't want to embarrass myself to my coach. I don't want to be a person that doesn't do what he says that he is going to do. How can I ever be successful? How can I ever be having what I want and living the kind of life that I want to live if I don't do the things that I say that I will do, right? And by the way, this has taken me years to get to this point, but I'm giving you the shortcuts. One habit, make it small, commit to it 100%. So, as a result, most of the time I would plan my yoga the day before. Okay, when am I going to do it? Oh, in between this session and that session, or just before football so that it's out of the way. But I've had at least 4 or 5 times that I had forgotten to do it because I was excited and busy, and I spontaneously went out for a night dancing, and then I came home at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm like, oh shit, I still got to do my yoga. And then after hours of dancing in a whole day at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning, while I was dead tired, I would do my half an hour of yoga. And I didn't really like it that I was going to do it. But once I sat on the mat, I'm like, okay, good. I'm keeping my commitments. This feels good to me. And I would lose out on sleep, and it happened a couple of times, and I'm like, man, I really have to plan better because I know I'm going to do it no matter what. So I might as well plan this properly so I don't have to suffer so much. And so, now I'm planning it better. Not always great. Sometimes I still kind of forget it, but then it's like, oh man, I'm almost going to bed. I haven't done my yoga yet. Well, guess what? We're going to do it right now. No excuses, no exceptions, no matter what, 100%. You keep yourself to your commitment to yourself. That's starting to build up a lot of trust in yourself and in your ability to do it. And the more you do this, the better you get at that particular habit. And also the more you do this, the more trust you get into, hey, I say things and I do things and I make them happen. That gives you a real confidence in yourself. And, applying this to a powerful habit like daily tapping, that's really going to make a difference for you. So this was my video on honoring your commitments. I hope it's been helpful for you. And I hope you honor more of your commitments because it's really going to help you in life. you know, not just with a tapping habit. And that tapping habit is also going to help you in life. Man, on this positive, uplifting, exciting note, I'll end the video. So thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And I will connect to you next week at some point, because this is a Thursday video. So see testimonials Tuesdays in a couple of days, and then every Thursday there's a video like this. So if you have any questions, any feedback, let me know in the comments below, and I will answer them. All right, bye for now.